96.
We continue to work our way through a Friday before the weekend, and a weekend for a lot of folks that means shovel snow and trying to get their lives back together after a week long of a couple of storms here. The latest one approaching the Northeast today, already bringing snow to Washington and Baltimore and Philadelphia, as well as New York, and it's heading on up into Boston, and we'll talk about it. Let's show you the radar this morning. You can see where we currently have the snow, and we have to go inland just a little bit. Right around LaGuardia, we still have the snow across much of northern New Jersey, Allentown, and well down here across the Laurel Highlands, we continue to get the snow, and right in through here it's been very, very heavy. Allentown is S+, which meteorologically speaking is heavy snow. And then we have some sleet and rain mixing in around New York City now at LaGuardia, JFK Airport, got to get them straight, and on down toward Trenton as well. So you're going to run into some messy stuff down into Philadelphia, and it's kind of winding down here around D.C. and Baltimore, but it is winding down in the form of sleet, snow, freezing rain, as well as some rain mixing in. So we got the whole gamut in through here, and that's what we're starting to see now in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Bill Keneally joins us. He's been there all morning when there wasn't anything. All of a sudden some heavy snow, and now, Bill, you've got just about everything.
We've got a fine concoction, I might add, Jim. We have freezing rain and we have sleet right now. We have a conga line going by as well. They are working the circle. This is Eskin Circle on the Ben Franklin Parkway. We're right in front of the Philadelphia Museum of Art. The weather has been, we've had the whole gamut today, but as you said, primarily now a sleet, freezing rain mix, and it is kind of heavy. The winds are picking up. It looks like they may start backing around a bit, so maybe that low is going to start blowing by us in the next couple of hours.
Unfortunately, we're experiencing some technical difficulties with you, Bill, but we will check back in with you.
Okay.
And maybe, as Bill mentioned, that is because of some of the sleet and some of the snow and sleet that's mixing in some of the dish and causing some problems there. Well, let's go back and look at the Doppler radar here out of this area. You can see even with further detail some of the mixed precipitation which kind of moved its way in toward New York. It almost looks like the sleet disappeared there. You see this area here, which appeared earlier? Now it's just disappeared, but we still have some rain mixing in down along the South Shore and across Staten Island, but there is another batch. It looks like it's just east of Piscataway, and that's heading up across Staten Island and eventually into New York as well. So this is all this mixed stuff, which is easily heading into the tri-state area. But just to the north, again, across Sussex County, back into Allentown and Scranton, some very, very heavy snow coming on down, and it continues to pull on off toward the north. And in downtown New York right now, Manhattan, Jill Brown joins us. She's been there since the blizzard of '96. Haven't had much of a chance to head on out of town. So, Jill, what have you got for us this morning?
Well, Jim, here we go again. This actually isn't much better than it was during the blizzard. It's windy, it's snowy, it's cold out here. We haven't had a huge accumulation, but it has been coming down pretty heavily for about the past hour, hour and a half. Probably have a little bit over an inch. What you're looking at behind me is Central Park West, and you can see the traffic's moving, but hasn't been so great the last few days. Let's show you some of the scenes from around this area just in the past couple of days.
County, a little bit of icy conditions there. North and west, everything you see there is snow right now. We'll go out to the wider view. Here's the regional picture on Action Radar, and you're starting to see the back edge of the storm. Heavy precipitation over us now. We'll back it up and show you the motion, and you'll see that the back edge of the storm, watch toward the bottom of the radar loop there. There's the bottom of the stuff coming through, and that's why we expect to see it ending first to the south, then to the north, as we go through the afternoon and into this evening. That's the very latest from AccuWeather. We want an update on this, and of course, the details on what comes next when we check the 5-day in a few minutes. Rick?
All right, David, thank you. Well, more snow means more plowing for already overworked road crews who still haven't recovered from the blizzard. Plow crews across the tri-state got ready to tackle the new snow this morning, even before the first flake fell. PennDOT crews rolled into the salt yard in Gladwin to restock their supplies for another round with Old Man Winter. PennDOT says it had between 15,000 and 20,000 tons of salt going into this storm. It's expected to use up most of that with this storm, but another shipment is expected next week.
And the cleanup from the blizzard and today's storm is proving to be costly for states in the Delaware Valley. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware are all hoping for federal aid from Washington to help out. President Clinton says he'll provide aid to the areas hit hardest by the storm, starting with the District of Columbia and Maryland. And he says he will consider aid to other states, including Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Despite a lack of guarantees, though, the governors in the tri-state area are applying for that assistance. And Mayor Ed Rendell says even with some federal help, the snow cleanup will still put a big dent in Philadelphia's wallet. Bus, trolley, and train service are doing well, considering these folks in Olney headed out before it started coming down. But even now, you can get around fairly well by taking your patients along with you. These bus and trolley routes are not running. The 2, 4, 7, 33, 35, 39, 90, 120, and 211. The Broad Street subway is experiencing some delays, but trains are running again after a partial shutdown. The 101 Norristown High Speed Line is not running. Shuttle buses are running instead out of 69th Street Terminal. New Jersey Transit is experiencing 15-minute delays overall. Intercity bus routes are seeing longer delays and some detours. In Delaware, the Route 8 bus is not running, and some buses are being detoured there.
One of the big problems today with more snow is roof collapses. We have a report of a partial roof collapse at the Borders Bookstore on Route 7 in Stanton, Delaware. There are no reported injuries, and we'll have a live report from there in just a few moments. Now in Pittsburgh, bad weather caused
They're still closed. We're looking at some major delays around Philadelphia, too, so call ahead this afternoon. We're going to be looking at some delays lasting probably right through this evening throughout much of the major airports in the Northeast, including around Boston, too, where the snow has not yet begun there. It's going to be should be coming down very heavily within the next few hours. We'll check on your good afternoon forecast, put your Weather Channel map.
Sun, snow, rain, or fog. Know what to expect. Just 95 cents a minute. Dial 1-900-WEATHER and connect.
Youth, when there are no worries. Just playing chase, wrestling, and taking lots of naps. When all that really matters is having fun. From the creator of the award-winning television series Wild America comes a home video unlike anything you've ever seen. These are nature's precious moments, available now as a special 1-hour home video. It is not available in stores. Call this toll-free number now and get precious moments for just $19.95. Order now and you'll also receive The Beauty of Butterflies absolutely free. That's right, both of these extraordinary programs are yours for just $19.95. Call now.
For rush delivery, get your credit card ready and call 1-800-544-6665. That's 1-800-544-6665. Or send your check or money order to the address on your screen. Call now.
So if you have snow on your roof, this rain that's falling on it.
To maybe a little bit of rain, but around New York City, we'll take you there first with Jill. And we do have some snow still coming down. Jill, what are the conditions that you see there?
Well, Rich, we've been here on the west side of Central Park all week long, and seems like things haven't changed a whole lot. Actually, the snow's coming down heavier today than it did really through much of the blizzard. It's just not blowing quite as strong. So you're looking down Central Park west toward Columbus Circle, and you can see the traffic's at least moving. We'll show you some scenes from around the area, just the last hour or so.
Where actually do we put our cars?
That's a great question, because I know the parking garages, etc., I'm sure are full at this point. A lot of people decided just not to come in today. We talked to our friends over at Metro Traffic, and they said it really wasn't that bad this morning, thinking a lot of people said, we see the next storm coming in, we'll just stay home. It's Friday. Hopefully things will be better by Monday.
So I guess a long weekend, then. Some of the folks there staying home today because of the snow?
Yes, and actually some of the schools closed again. Not here in the city, but Yonkers and I think out in Queens. Some of them closed early, some of them didn't go in at all today. They're still having problems on the rail lines. So this is really just going to slow the cleanup effort from the first storm, even though this one isn't going to last, of course, nearly as long. It's not going to bring us nearly the snow that we got a few days ago.
Okay, thanks for that report, Jill. Well, taking a look at our latest satellite photograph, what we see going on is the low pressure area off the Delaware and Maryland coast. Once again, where is our low pressure area? It's right about right through here, and that one is going to be heading up the coast and eventually over to Nova Scotia. Secondary low, this is our upper air low pressure over northern West Virginia, holding the snow in up through the Laurel Highlands. Also, the snow will continue to be heavy across New York into Pennsylvania. Now we can take you to Philadelphia, where Bill Keneally is standing by. Bill, what are the latest conditions now in Philadelphia?
Rich, it's getting pretty ugly out here. We're getting some freezing rain, possibly even a little bit of rain now. Temperatures have come up some. The wind is still out of the northeast. But we're in the flatter part of the city, so we're not that far above sea level. I suspect, however, you get up on the Schuylkill heading up towards Norristown, it's probably a much different story. And that, I think, is going to be our big story the next few hours. The added burden of this freezing rain or rain on this snowpack. We had that dry, powdery snow, as we showed you earlier. I want to show you these pictures now from the city itself. And this was at the height of our storm, the slush rather, up on us, but they kept it at bay. The road's in good shape. The roads are fairly wet, a little bit of slush. Again, we're down in the downtown area. Farther north and west, that colder air is still holding firm, and I'm sure some big problems between here and, say, Reading or Lancaster.
Okay, thanks for that report, Bill. Our latest radar now showing us across areas of the east exactly what is going on with that rain snow line. In fact, we do see some of the rain continuing across areas of New Jersey, of course, around Salisbury, some rain, temperatures up near 50 degrees, but toward the interior, still some very heavy snow across the interior of southern New York. So we are looking at the snow continuing to come down, but we do expect a changeover to some freezing rain and sleet around New York City. Now I'll toss it back to the studio with the latest on national weather.
Next, Poconos and Catskills, maybe the mid-Hudson Valley, perhaps as far north as Glens Falls, a half a foot of snow. Moderately heavy snow in the Berkshires, the Green and White Mountains, and much of eastern Maine, and just some light additional accumulations, western Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh and vicinity, Morgantown and Charleston, West Virginia. A quick look at temperatures again today. The coldest air, northern New England, Laurel Highlands, western Pennsylvania, high country of the Rockies, Yellowstone National Park, upper teens to mid-20s. However, late today, 70s over South Florida.